Our first Galactic Calamity season, Forbidden Catalyst, will be ending in a couple of days with the upcoming patch, and there's a lot of things that are going to be going away with this patch, so let's talk about everything that you need to do before this patch gets here. First things first, our weeklies have reset in the season, so you're definitely going to want to clear them to get your free rewards. In the Rift, there's the 500k weekly. Just do a single run, get your 500k, get your crystals, get your pure white fragments too. And if you haven't done the 500k in a single run, then you might want to try and get this done as well. Serenial should be able to get this done pretty easily. Another weekly is the Chaos ones, 8,000 weekly progress at Chaos Lab 0, and they have changed this so it's twice as fast now. So it'll only take you 2 full runs to clear this. Also, there is the achievements. There's the Confront Great Rift on every single difficulty, and I mentioned it last time, but this isn't retroactive, so you do have to go in on easy, normal, and hard, and hit the boss once and then yield. Even if you've done it on Hell, it won't go backwards and clear it all for you. It's like 100 pure white fragments and also 8 partner promotion material, which isn't a ton, but this takes like no effort. I should make sure the damage goes through. You just hit it once and then you exit and you're done. So there's really not too much to worry, or it's not that much effort. And just like that, we are done. There's other missions down here, like completing the story, you definitely want to do, just because there's a bunch of other rewards in story too. There's also the unsealing every single card. This one definitely takes a lot longer because RNG to see the cards, plus you have to do a full Chaos run. But you can do this if you want 10 potential discs and also the fragments. There's also defeat Forbidden Spawn at Discord's core. This is just go into a dimensional tunnel, get the question mark event, then do the full run and kill the boss in the core of Discord, and you'll be able to pick up this background for your save data plus the currency. In the story, or I guess we can do Chaos first. In the Chaos, just make sure you've done your first clears for difficulties 9, 10, and 11, so you get the first clear rewards. And in the story, besides just doing the story, there are also the battle missions that you'll want to make sure you have done as well. There's going to be 30 stars in each chapter, and you can do these to get all of your rewards here too. Nebula Distortion, just in case anybody hasn't finished this yet, you're going to want to try and do this. There is a lot of stuff in here that, because if you clear difficulty 4, it'll back clear 1, 2, and 3, so there's definitely a lot of stuff in here for all 3 of the bosses. You're going to want to make sure and try and get that done as well. And that's it for... oh, not yet. The supply store. The weekly tier of the god has reset, so definitely pick this up. And then just make sure you're spending all of your currency to try and buy out everything in the shop. In terms of priority, the Omega Code is the most important thing. I would say it's a free manifest ego for any 5-star combatant. And then besides that, probably target the limited roles first, the blue anchors. And from there, it's kind of just personal preference, I would say. Like, the rescue anchors are nice, prism lenses are just cosmetic stuff, though I also just enjoy those a lot. You have the weekly little feather thing, the main stat selector, the card thing, which is also pretty limited, though I don't think we use these that fast. A bunch of materials for your combatants that you probably want to pick up. I like all 3 of them. The relic things that are nice for, this is for crafting your relics. Core memory for rolling relics. Super gated currency, this is also really important. And all the friendship stuff. And once you finish buying out all the useful stuff, all you really have left is the battle memories for you to buy. And don't expect to clear out the full shop. I think they put more items in here than you're going to be able to buy, just so that people wouldn't really run out of stuff that easily. But the important stuff is pretty much, well, all the stuff that I've bought. I think I am going to save the battle memories for last. And then that is it for the seasonal stuff. Besides the Galactic Disaster season, we also have Serenial banner ending. So Serenial plus her partner Pekko will both be going away. In terms of whether or not you should roll for Serenial, probably. She's really good, and people talk a lot about like her being a seasonal limited hero. I don't think that should really factor into whether or not you roll her, just because even for like non-limited, they go to the normal combatant banner and you can lose 50-50 to them. Odds are you're not going to see them. Like, you shouldn't be relying on like RNG to potentially pick up a character. If you skip them, you skip them. Though Serenial is really, really good. She's great for Chaos runs because she's just a really consistent character in terms of her damage, and she does a ton of damage as well. So really, really good pickup. Probably like one of the strongest DPSs we've gotten so far. Besides just the banners, there's a couple of other stuff for Serenial, which is in the memory archive. You can pick up her memory code to get her manifest ego. And also, I will mention this now, you can pick up Peko if you haven't gotten her yet in the shop as well. Let's talk a little bit about Serenial's egos. Her big jumps are at 2, 4, and 6, I would say. 2 is probably the most impactful one out of all of her egos. At the start of battle, you get 2 homing laser Ls, and this is insane, especially in Chaos, I think, because every single fight you'll be guaranteed to have 2 extra cards of damage, and this doesn't affect your turn draw. Like, this just creates the cards along with your usual starting 5. So this just guarantees you a bit of damage every single fight, which is nice. Also, at the start of the turn, if you draw a homing laser, you'll draw 1 card. This works with the Epiphany that moves the homing laser to your hand at the start of your turn. So this will only draw if it's moving from your draw pile and not your discard pile, but it's still a free draw at the start of every single fight at least. And then, besides that, E4 is just a big damage boost, as well as E6 is also a really big damage boost. E3 is just like a bit of extra damage here, and the haste doesn't really matter that much. Plus E1 increases the amount of homing lasers by 2, and once it goes from 3 to 5, plus 50% damage. So E2 is probably the most important one, but I don't think, like, in terms of whether or not you need to get her E2, I think it's fine even if you don't. Because in terms of the content that we have the Spiral Tower of Screams coming up, and we'll see, like, how necessary it is there, but for hard, like, actually hard endgame content so far, it's really just Great Rift, and we know that the next Great Rift is probably going to be focused around 9, and not Serenial, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue if you don't have it, but if you are looking to get some egos for her, I would say E2 is a good stopping point just because of how impactful it is. There's also the case of partners, which is Peko, and my Peko is down here somewhere. So Peko is really, really good for Serenial. This Overclock Beacon is a permanent buff for her, so you just play it, and then the entire fight, every time somebody inflicts Ravage, she will get Overclock, which is 25% crit chance for 1 turn. So you can practice every single turn relatively easily with Serenial. She also gets 8% attack, assuming you're just the 1 copy, 8% attack, and then you get 10% damage after you get 10% damage stacking 3 times after you Ravage, because you move the homing lasers to your hand. And then also you get 15% bonus damage against Ravage targets. It's just a boatload of damage for Serenial. Peko, besides Serenial, is also really good on Cassius, I think. Because one of the things with Cassius is that controllers have pitiful damage. Like, where is a controller that I actually have leveled? Like, Nyx. It's still 50, but she has 4 attack. That is not a lot. Ratochka was the one that we were using before. You lose the entire passive, but you get 101 attack, and these guys don't give you any attack. So Ratochka would just give you pretty much 100 extra attack. With 3 morale as the ego skill, not bad. I think Pekka was also pretty solid. You get a little bit extra attack, it's only 8. And again, you lose the whole passive, but you get Overclock Beacon compared to 3 morale. So 3 morale is good for like a 1-turn burst, because, well, it's morale for 1 turn. And here you get Overclock, which the effect is permanent, but it is, like, if it's Cassius just by himself, then it can be a little bit harder to Ravage consistently, but on the turn that you do Ravage, the plus 25 crit chance is absurdly strong. That's why on, like, the Rift, since Cassius is most of our damage, I did have Peko on Cassius, and I had Yuri on Serenial instead. One thing, though, is with Cassius getting nerfed, we don't know what he's going to look like after the nerfs, so you might be a little bit wary of picking up Peko for Cassius. And also, unless you're going for like front page leaderboard, it probably won't matter that much whether or not you have 2 Pekos. And even if like there's a really good chance that you just don't need Serenial plus Cassius to score super high in the next rift, so you could just move Peko onto Cassius or something. That's it for Serenial and Peko. There's also the arc something supply. Definitely make sure that like you've cleared up to at least level 50 if possible, because that's where the good rewards are. There's the season missions that you probably have done at this point, but this is a bunch of points. The weeklies for this have also reset, so you can get a big boost towards your progress if you want. I think if you're past level 50, that like I'm not going to lose any sleep over these units. If you bought the Battle Pass upgrade, then you definitely want to make sure you don't waste it. Pick up your partner before the timer ends. Lastly, there is Basin, which, again, I have not done. I'll do this eventually. I'll just like slowly auto all of it. But finish up your Basin, get your, whatever these cube things are called, Zeronium, and before it resets. So that's it for everything that's ending. That's a lot. This went on a lot longer than I thought it would, but you guys should, yeah, go get on that.